Okay, all right. Thanks guys for joining us for another interesting episode of the show, the Football Fan Zone. My name is Emamude. As usual, I'm your host for the show. I have with me right now the lone striker. Hopefully, the supporting striker will join us. But the lone striker right now with me is Chuks, the Arsenal fan. Chuks, how are you doing? Perfect weekend for Arsenal.
Hey man, what's on the menu?
Right. Yeah.
What's on the menu?
So
Kobe is on the menu.
Oh my goodness, right. Okay, so we're going to be reviewing the weekend, the EPL, the games this weekend in the EPL, with our main focus mostly on the title race, Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool. We're also going to be previewing the Champions League games that will be coming up this midweek. Some very tasty match-watching fixtures to look forward to. Arsenal versus Bayern, first leg at the Emirates, Real Madrid
Mm,
versus
like
Man
that one.
City. I think the first leg is at the Santiago Bernabeu as well. So really tasty Champions League fixtures and a whole lot more also to discuss on the show. Okay, right. So there's only one. Okay, let's start with the Arsenal, the, the number one team right now, the Premier League on goal difference. The team leading the way right now. Arsenal played Brighton over the weekend, and it was a comfortable 3-0 win for Arsenal. Before I bring you in, I watched the game. I watched the game. Um, of course, as a rival watching the game, it wasn't pleasant viewing for me. But to be honest, I think Arsenal are really looking good. I can see why most neutrals I've seen are tipping Arsenal to win it, to win the Premier League. If you saw that game, it just simply, the game just kind of like, what's the word now? Kind of like summarized Arsenal's whole season. Good going forward. They're always like they know when to step it up. They know when to hit the gas. They know when to increase the pressure and then put like bang on the door. And then when they eventually get the goal, they know how to also be pragmatic and then not give the opponent a sniff. It was a professional performance. I think that's the word. It was a professional performance from the Gunners. Everybody knows how Brighton likes to play. Pass out from the back. Arsenal just set traps for them, made it really difficult for them, and then going forward, of course, Arsenal like took their chances. Gabriel Jesus, there's talk that should Gabriel Jesus now be a winger? It seems he kind of like had a decent game there. So I don't know. I'm going to get your perspective on that as well. So yeah, so pretty much looking good for us now. I was looking at the stats today, and I'm like, everything is just Arsenal. What's it called? The highest number of clean sheets, 14. The next team is 9, and it was like, wow, that's crazy. Expected goals. Arsenal is also like expected goals to consider. That's expected goals against. Arsenal have the fewest. Most goals scored. I think Arsenal is leading with 72 goals or so, just maybe two more than Liverpool. So yeah, it's just anything you look at, stats, eye test, Arsenal all the way. 7 more games to go. Can Arsenal hold their nerve and win all 7 games and then and then become 2023, 2024 champions? For me personally, apart from Arsenal, okay, before I talk about the broader title race, let me get Chuk's perspective on the game. Chuk, how did you see the game?
It wasn't what I expected because Brighton had more possession, more touches. They were holding the ball, but our defense is scary because we're not letting anyone get shots off, and even if you do, it's not really threatening our keeper. I think they say this is the most saves Raya has made the whole year, 2024 and two in the
Wow,
league.
wow.
He has the most saves he has had to make in a league game. So that just goes to show the strength of our defense. And mm, I heard what those two Chelsea fans were saying. By the way, last week I wasn't here, and I heard what those two Chelsea fans were saying last week. I wish we could drag them back to the podcast this week to hear their calling us say we're not we're parking the bus, this that. Did they see attacking football now? Kai Havertz, the same Gabriel Jesus that you were talking about, is on is on 4 league goals this season. Meanwhile, Kai Havertz is banging goals for us in important fixtures. But people will tell you that he needs 2 years and to learn English to be able to score goals in the league. But we saw the levels of our own team. You go there, Brighton, you know how they play. They want the ball. They are a very good pressing team too. So it's not like they only just know how to play at the back. They know how to press. But at the end of the day, we got a penalty. Bukayo scores. We have to sustain their pressure. We score again, and Trossard ended the game. So yeah, it was very much professional. Players got to come off rest. We have probably the biggest game. Every game now feels like the biggest game of the season. So now we have another biggest game of the season on Tuesday. So it was good for guys to come off. We need right now we have no injuries, so we need everybody fit and sharp because the games are coming thick and fast. I feel
That
like
fast.
I feel like I'm watching my team play, which is why I love. Like I'm watching my team play every 2 days. Some people like Adams have to wait 1 week to watch their team. They have to wait one
Wow.
week to watch their team play, but I feel like I'm watching our team play every week. Now we have 7 games left. There's what I want, and there's what I think is going to happen. What do I want?
Oh,
I want us to win all 7 games and win the league. What do I think is going to happen? Remember, I was telling you guys, Man U might be bad, but it's like playing Liverpool. No matter how bad Liverpool is, when you go to Anfield, there's something about that stadium. Same thing with Old Trafford. Once you give them a chance
yeah.
to think that they have something in the game, like you can never fault Liverpool and United for playing with pride. Chelsea don't have any pride. They don't. When they are bad, they are bad. Like you can beat them at Stamford Bridge, but Old Trafford and Anfield, there's some sort of like pride there. Like they just don't want to lose. Even if they are 19th, once they meet a top six side, we have to go to Old Trafford. Do I think we can get a win there? I don't know. We have to go play Tottenham. Do I think we can get a win there? I don't know. But at the very least, we shouldn't lose those games. So I think we're going to lose points somewhere, and I would feel more comfortable losing points against rivals than maybe losing against Bournemouth at home. We're playing Bournemouth at home. But yeah, it's as
This is
Pius always says, there's plenty twists and turns in
yes, there is.
this type of
Exactly. Like I totally agree with you. Like I think for the three teams fighting for the title and with 7 games to go, I think I don't see anybody winning all 7 of those games right now.
Yeah,
Which
it just doesn't look. Maybe
yeah,
City, like, but then again, it's just out of fear. Like you've just seen them do it
yes,
before, so you're like, okay, but
yeah.
I really
So
think someone can take something from City. I don't know
yeah,
who.
yeah. So I was looking at. I spent like a whole lot of time looking at the permutations and the stats around those three teams, like in the fighting for the title race. So something interesting, right? I think last week the Opta, because what this Opta prediction,
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
keeps
if it's
changing. I think
AI.
now has
Exactly.
changed
So
again.
last week, I'm sure maybe tomorrow it will change, but as of last week, Monday, it was after the 0-0 draw between Man City and Arsenal, it was Liverpool that was the favourite. Now that Liverpool has dropped points and Arsenal is now on top, I don't know if he's now going to say, oh, Arsenal are the title favourite. So it's going to be very interesting. Then there's also something also about the title race I was seeing online is that Manchester City, Arsenal, and Liverpool, right? So out the teams that Man City have left to play,
Oh,
four.
it just changed. I'm looking at it right now. So before
Uh,
you put Drew to United, you are 45%. Now you're 31%.
wow,
We've gone
and
from 21% to 29%, and
percent,
City went from 33% to 39%. So you put
percent
dropped by 13% after this draw. So
draw.
now
Wow,
City is the favorite now according to
favourite to
Opta.
win it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was also going to say that because I was looking at the remaining fixtures. City out of City's remaining 7 fixtures, right? Four of the seven are in the bottom half of the table. Two
Kai.
are two are fighting relegation: Luton Town and Nottingham Forest. So, and out of those 7 teams, their average points this season is 39 points. I think 39.8 points. That's almost we can say maybe below mid table. And then
Uh,
I'm looking at Arsenal. Arsenal's remaining teams.
yeah, we
The
have we
average
have
points they have,
beefy games there.
yeah, 46.8 points. So that's like if that were to be a team, the team would be somewhere around where Newcastle is. I think sixth or seventh. So it's really tricky for. And then the Liverpool is just slightly better, maybe 43 points, something points for their remaining fixtures. But Arsenal fans can still have hope. They have the highest number of home games left. So City
Yeah,
and
I mean, as a fan, you need to, because again, it's same thing. I'll keep telling the Adams: when you are bad, you have to accept that you are bad.
yeah,
And we've been bad for a long time, so now like it's a breath of fresh air. Like I keep telling fans, like a lot of fans are very very panicky and don't want to. They want to feel humbled when there's no reason to be humble. Like what are you humble for? Like your team is good. Like you can wake up now and watch your team and smile after the games. So you have to just embrace it. Like you have to be in the moment. Do I think we're going to win the league? No, but who else will I root for if not my team? Like we have 7 more games to go. Our fixture is not as easy, but you have to take it one game at a lot can
you can.
change. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
someone can get injured on City or even on our team. Let's say Saliba gets injured now on Tuesday. That's the title is gone. You know, like
yeah,
things can happen in 7 games,
exactly. Of
but we
course,
just
as in
have
that's
to
why.
wait.
Exactly. That's why I don't get because as a Liverpool fan, of course, and I'm echoing the views of various Liverpool fans around the world. There was a lot of disappointment after today's game. It was almost like a meltdown. Like, so to an extent, I can understand. Like, oh yeah, we had more chances, more shots. United are like, sorry to say, like they're a bad team. They're not that good this season. So we had every opportunity to win that game, but at the end of the day, we did not win that game, which means that we are now like we dropped to second on the table. So there's a lot of meltdown, right? I get it to an extent, but I just feel like sometimes fans can be overreacting. It's over the top. Like Klopp said in his post-match press conference, you guys are going to be hammering those players and say, "Oh, they missed those chances." But are they not the same players, or majority of this? Are they not the same players that are put in the position that you are right now? So you have to also put that into context as well. Like, oh yeah, they are human beings. It can happen. They can be off days. That's why most of the time it's football. That's why we love it. If it was like if it's something that we could predict, there won't be so many people following the game at it. Because there's that sense of there's an upset somewhere, even where you think, City will
Yeah,
win all
only
their
thing there's
games.
no upset. Yeah,
Yeah. So there's always that element of surprise that something can happen. So you don't just say, of course, you are not happy that you're not in the driving seat. You don't have to start depending on. I'm talking about as a Liverpool fan. I have to start depending on other people dropping points or something ridiculous happening. But it's fine. You just have to enjoy. Like you're in the title race. Last season we're not in the title race, but this season we are, and we've even had a lot of injuries as well. Like
yeah. I
we
feel like
suffered.
you guys should enjoy more than any other person,
Yeah,
because
because that's the thing. Fans don't always. I don't know whether it's tunnel vision or something. They don't always put all those things into perspective. They're just like, we lost today. Sack Klopp. Salah should go. Sell him at the end of the season. Nunes. I'm sure at the next game now, if those guys come, they score actually like, build him a statue. He's the greatest player ever. So I just feel that everybody should just be calm. It's just one of those things. And of course, no fans. You can't be too overconfident about. I've seen a lot of I've bookmarked a lot of Arsenal tweets as well. I've been seeing some very overconfident Arsenal fans. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going to come back to this tweet because I'm seeing, fine, the performance was brilliant yesterday. And Arsenal over like throughout the season they have been superb. Only 4 goals considered in this calendar year, amazing. But so I've just been seeing like, wow, in fact, we're breezing through, we're winning the league, we're walking the league. I'm just like, okay, okay. I think I'm going to come back to this. So you can't also be too confident as well. Just like you said, measured. I'm sure like Ateta will be telling his players, we're just going to be taking
yeah, I mean he
one
knows
game.
that was last season. You just have to go into every game. When the game is done, it's done. Like I'm sure professionals are better at it than people that are professionals. But it's like even you
Yeah,
guys, like the game is over. The game is over. You can't even sit down and start to think about what you didn't do, what you did.
yeah.
You have to think of the next. Where's the next game? How can we
Game.
win
And
that game?
and
The
because the
next
games
one.
are even coming so thick and fast,
Yeah, like the games are coming. So
you can't be dwelling on the other game or say, this we should have done this, we should have done that. So yeah, I just feel
yeah,
fans should just have a bit of perspective, um, like as in terms of like supporting that team and especially players as well, because at the end of the day, these people are human beings. They can make mistake. No matter how good they are, no matter I remember last week they were saying, oh, De Bruyne is average. This one, then this yesterday he scored a very brilliant goal, and then like
What
they
two?
are now saying it's world
Crazy
class, two
goal.
goals exactly. So it's just human beings. You have off days and you have days that you're superb. So fans should just always keep that in perspective when they are like analyzing all these things. Yeah. So the game, Man U Liverpool, just a few points. Well, as a Liverpool fan, disappointed. A lot of chances. I think the first half, Manchester United did not have an attempt on goal. We had like almost 13, 14 shots, and the team was just being wasteful. It was just like deja vu all over again. Looking back at that FA Cup game that we lost to Man U at Old Trafford a few weeks ago, and I'm watching the game. I'm like, are these players serious? Is it that they've forgotten that we were in a similar position some weeks ago, and then we lost the game? And then when Mainu scored that goal, there was this sinking feeling. I'm like, oh no, oh no, not again.
Menu! What's on the menu?
No, the guy, the guy is a brilliant. For someone his age, he's a brilliant player. I mean, kudos to him. Like when I watch him, like some people say, they see some sort of Pogba in him. He might not have that physique. But one thing that he has is it's very hard to dispossess him of the ball. Once he's in full flow, he can glide through players. He has this. He's amazing. Like for someone his age, he can only get better, of course, of course. But brilliant, brilliant players. Well, and I think Manchester United, Harry Maguire and Willy Kambwala, they are the two centre back partnership. I thought they had a decent game as well. Like fair play to them as well. They were solid when they needed to be, and of course they rode their luck at times. Liverpool attackers were not clinical enough, and then of course they celebrate the points like the qualitas qualify them for Champions League. That's the kind of team they are now. And I'm happy. I like where they are now. Let them celebrate the
Yeah,
the
you're trying
draw.
to find silver lining to that draw.
Of course, of course. I will try and find some sort of silver line into the draw. So yeah, so Liverpool now for us, Europa League on Thursday, Atalanta at Anfield, first leg. Ah, that's another kind of like tricky game. Atalanta are like they're a seasoned Europa League team. They were in the Champions League a few seasons ago as well. So yeah, it's not going to be an easy game as Liverpool fans expect, but hopefully we can get the business done, and then we can rest players. And key for Liverpool is some key players are going to be returning. I think that game, Trent Alexander-Arnold is back. Diogo Jota is also back as well. So that is something that I'm really confident about. This title run, especially the Premier League, is actually Diogo Jota absolutely needed. If
Yeah,
Nunes is not doing it. And I feel Klopp sometimes like Nunes, there was a chance Nunes missed today. I'm just like, Klopp should have just removed him immediately after that. Like, he should have just said, yeah, just come out. It's like, today you're not ready. And I just feel like Diogo Jota on the bench would have, helped, if you just, bring him in and Diogo Jota, we call him Diogo Jota the slaughter because he's kind of clinical as well. So,
I mean,
yeah,
I
so.
didn't see, I didn't see him do any slaughtering when he came to the Emirates, but that's beside the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, that's beside the point. Fair play, yeah. So yeah, Manchester City defeated Crystal Palace 4 goals to 2. It wasn't straightforward for Manchester City, right? Before the game, I thought it was going to be a straightforward performance, straightforward win. Though they won 4 goals to 2, but looking at the game, it felt like Crystal Palace at some point in the game they were in it, and there was a
No,
crucial point in the game. No, no,
nah,
there was a crucial, not like they were in it, but there was a crucial point in the game when it was 1-1, and then there was a penalty
the
shout for
the penalty
Palace.
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what do
and
you think?
what I mean, I watched the game just like almost
Yeah,
everybody else.
yeah,
And the honest truth is, even if they had gotten that penalty and made it 2-1, City were
yeah.
always going to kill them in the second
How
half.
you can never see.
No, because even the first half, they were just weren't taking their chances. And City had them
Exactly. So
exactly.
how are you sure that they were going to take their chance if Crystal Palace had gone to
I mean,
one up?
they were already set up defensively and City were creating. That's always a very bad sign that you're not going to beat City. Because if you notice, the teams that do beat City, especially on the other half of the table, are the likes of Brentford. Remember when Leeds were around? Like teams that want to attack and don't mind conceding to City. Once you go in there and you're too defensive, it's a recipe for disaster because City can give you, you've seen it now, City can give you a 3-goal lead and still end up winning that game 5-3 just because the minute you are committed to being very defensive, yeah, it's over. Especially if you don't have the defense that can really, really hold them back, and they are creating chance after chance, wave after wave. And then you also saw like De Bruyne he wore the best of his shooting boots on Saturday. Yeah, it's one of those ones where after at halftime I already knew it was done. It was just a
Yeah,
matter of goals to go in.
De Bruyne was in that kind of mood.
Yeah, he was
Like,
just in that mood where they were always going to win that game. If he was playing like that, they was going to win that game.
yeah. So
But I mean, I the only thing I wanted to touch on the Liverpool United game
the third game.
is you can never underestimate certain teams. Like you put last season, as I was saying, there are certain stadiums that you have to go to, and as a manager, if you're a manager, you have to tell your players. I know they might not be in form, but you know what they say. Form is very much temporary,
Very
but class and heritage is permanent. So
heritage.
yeah, it's a heritage stadium. Like I don't know if this might be real in like in football terms, but it's the same analogy I always use. Like there are some situations you'll be in if you are alone, you don't feel confident. But if you have your big brother there, you just feel like anything in front of you you can do. Is how it feels playing in Old Trafford in all these big six games or like Anfield. If it's Stamford Bridge and they are bad, you're going to beat them. There's no irritating there. It's not like you're going to Old Trafford, you're going to Anfield. If it's Stamford Bridge, you guys are giving them 6. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. All in all, I'm telling my fellow Arsenal fans, we're also going to go to Old Trafford, and we cannot go there thinking that it's going to be smooth sailing.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
as we saw today, those guys download something ridiculous in every big game they've played at home. They are not an easy team to go there and beat. So that was just
Yes.
my last point
Yeah,
on the Liverpool game.
yeah. That is a fair point. As a Liverpool fan, of course, I'm kind of I'm kind of like confident. Not necessarily confident, sir, but I have that hope, that belief that yeah, Arsenal still have some very tough games, away
We have
games,
said that.
some tough away games to go. So I'm just like, hmm. And then another key before I bring in the Adams, who has just joined us into this title race discussion. I just feel like there is this particular period of this month of April, right? There is this run of fixtures that is kind of like 3 days apart. So I think for Liverpool is the 21st, the 24th, and the 27th. Fulham away, West Ham away, and Everton away, Merseyside derby. And then I was also looking at Arsenal during that period as well. I think that is where slip up is definitely going to happen for
Yeah,
both
we
teams.
have I think we have Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's the Chelsea
Wolves,
Tottenham, and if we
Bayern.
beat Bayern Munich, it will either be City or Madrid right after that.
Yeah, so that is a very
I
key
mean, I
period.
can I can confidently go on record. Chelsea
Yeah.
at the Emirates.
Ah,
Adam,
Oshe.
small for me now. It's not as if you're not coming to Bramble Lane. You're going to get VIP treatment. We'll make it quick. First half, just like the last time. We'll not,
Okay,
we'll,
so
we'll not keep you guys waiting.
okay, so the Adams, let me bring you in, right? I know last week, right? You're like Liverpool are your favorites. So after this weekend's fixtures, we're laughing last week that it might change this weekend. Have you changed your opinion?
Nah, nah.
Uh,
I didn't catch that game. I haven't even seen any highlights or footages from that game.
You've
I
not
just
seen. Oh, hey,
nah, I haven't.
what's on the menu? Kobe is on the menu.
no, yeah, Kobe Mainoo scored a brilliant goal. Yeah, but go on, Adams. Yeah,
Oh yeah. I think I saw his goal on Twitter. I saw someone post his goal. That was a really
brilliant goal.
good goal.
Yeah,
But I also saw some tweets saying that goal saved him. Like he had, I don't know. Again, I didn't watch the game, so I said that goal saved him. That he didn't have like the best of
of
performances, but
games.
yeah, but yeah, I'm still tilting towards Liverpool. And like I said the last time, man, it's really difficult to call. Now you just have to, whoever you pick, you just have to stick to that person through to the end. So that's how I'm going with Liverpool. And I felt like this was the game where we expected that something could happen. After the City game, where Arsenal dropped point against Manchester City, you guys were afforded a draw. And this is that draw. This is that draw that, after that game, we're like, okay, Arsenal didn't win, Man City didn't win. Liverpool have that sort of advantage of one, they can drop, 2 points in a game. And this is that game, right? This is the only game if you look at the run of fixtures. And right, so because you expect that Arsenal and Man City are still going to drop points some way, somehow, right? I don't see Arsenal win.
Yeah, I think Adams. I don't know. I think there's this. I might have to slightly disagree with you in terms of. Okay, so you say Man City will definitely drop points, but as I and Chuks were discussing before you came on, the 7 fixtures they have left, 4 of those 7 teams are bottom half teams. 2 of them are relegation threatening teams. Now, fine, you can look at it in 2 ways, right? So relegation threatening teams are fighting for their life, so they are definitely going to try and give their all when they play City, right? But then again, this is City, they know how to. Those are the kind of teams that I'm sure they'll relish dismantling. Teams that will just try to sit back, and then De Bruyne just has to do his magic.
I just see one draw, man. I see them dropping 1 point. I don't know what game it
Yeah.
could be, but I just think it's not, all smooth sailing for them. Especially they are not their usual self. They have there's still one draw
game
for them. Yeah.
Because I'm looking at their fixtures. I think they're winning all their home games left. So they have Luton at home, West Ham at home, and I forgot the other. I think Wolves at home as well. So I think it's looking like they're going to win those ones. It's the away games I'm looking at. Brighton away, Spurs away. Yeah, I think City have a horrible record at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So that's one that I'm looking at. So you can analyze these games and say, as a rival, there's hope. So I just just like I don't know if I mentioned it earlier to Chuks, but just like my thinking, out of those 7 games, it's very difficult to see one of those teams winning all 7 games remaining. It's just it's crazy. You don't see it.
Out of all the teams, I think the only one that is possible is Liverpool. That's the only one. Like when you look at the run of
7 games,
yeah. When you look at the run of games, and you guys are also not in the Champions League, the Europa League. Nobody really cares. You guys don't care about the Europa League, so it's not like you guys.
We can just throw away the Europa League. I just say no, this Premier League.
And let's be honest, you guys are resting some players in Bayern Munich. Man City can't afford to rest anybody.
But hear me out, though. Right now, us and City, I mean, maybe not City, but we have no injuries to any of the players that have featured
exactly
this season. So I mean, we have the depth. We saw it against Luton. Like we went.
But no, that's Luton. You guys are not going.
I know, like you can rotate players easily now, because going from Declan Rice to Partey, I'm not really scared. Going from playing Havertz in the 8th, I mean, you play Smith Rowe there, you push Havertz up top, or you play Jesus. We've seen Martinelli now playing on Saka's side.
Yeah,
Jesus is playing, Trossard is playing. All these guys are also in the rhythm. So in a way, the fixtures doesn't scare me as much as how unpredictable football is.
But
that's what scares me. Not even the fixtures.
Yeah.
But there's a point you get to. Even though those rotation options are there, the coach will not want to use them. You know why? There's a possibility that Arsenal now. Just look at it. You are playing. Let's say you beat Bayern and you qualify for the next round. You are playing Madrid away, or you are playing Spurs away. Are you telling me that Ateta will say, okay, for Spurs away, let me put Smith Rowe or
It's not so much putting him there. Is more so if he needs to rotate. He's not like, let's say Odegaard.
He starts Smith Rowe against Tottenham.
I mean, he has started against Tottenham, and he has 2 not debut goals against Tottenham. He's not the one.
He's definitely not starting him this season against Tottenham. Don't lie to yourself.
He can start either
Zinchenko.
Zinchenko, Kivio, or Tomiyasu. Nobody will blink. He can start Ben White or Tomiyasu on the other side. Nobody will blink. That's what I mean. He can start Partey, Rice, or Jorginho. Nobody's going to ask any questions.
Yeah.
He can start Jesus as the 9 or Havertz as the 9. He can start Trossard. Those are the positions I'm talking about. No,
Yeah, I think
he's not going to
Arsenal
go from
has
Odegaard
big-
to Smith Rowe just randomly. Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and like Fabio Vieira are more so second half options I can throw in. If he starts Eddie, I'm not watching.
You are this your agenda.
I'm not putting it on. Adams will have to be texting me on WhatsApp that they are cooking us. I will not be there. My eyes don't work. I'm Stevie Wonder. If Eddie Nketiah is on the starting lineup, I'm Stevie Wonder. I can't see. And by the way, before you join Adams, I heard all the slander from last week. The only thing I have to say is,
bro, that was it. That was
The
a
only-
nice performance.
I don't say I was on your side.
I was look.
the only thing I have to
Aside
say
was-
is, the only thing I have to say is the other day, right, during the Brighton game, I drank too much water. I went to pee, right? So I finished peeing, and what do you do after you pee? You go to wash your hand, right? I looked down my drain, I saw 65 million. I said, well, what is happening here? And you Havertz scored. Hey!
I have a scores again. Wow.
Thank you for Havertz.
But I saw something like Havertz and Nicholas Jackson have the same number of goals. Is that true?
I know.
I mean,
Is that true?
They
Same
do.
amount of-
They do.
I mean, one is top of the league. The other one is
They have the same amount of goals, nothing like top of the league.
They do. And that's the thing Arsenal fans are starting to say now. Oh, Chelsea miss Kai Havertz. You shouldn't have sold Kai Havertz. This and that. I'm like, bro,
That's
have-
nonsense talk.
we have almost all the players we sold. Look at them now. Pulisic is balling out in AC Milan. We have Loftus-Cheek scoring goals for fun. Even Aubameyang is out there
No, you can't claim Oba. Please. You can't
smashing records. We have who else? Kovacic is starting to ball.
Jorginho.
Jorginho too. Jorginho is also starting to ball. So like what he's doing now is not like it's strange. Like he has never done this before. But he's just doing it on a more effective team.
It's very much strange. Do you know why my problem is the Chelsea fans? They want to dial back their narrative now.
No.
When-
Let me
when-
finish. Let me
When they were plugging him with
Let me
Tobacco,
finish. Why are you guys signing these guys? You guys are crazy to sign this guy. This guy is nowhere worth 65 million. So I get it. He has, he's been okay so far. Like he's been turning up on some games, and based off the backlash that you guys got, it makes sense. But I think it's still a little bit overboard. Like, come on, it's 65 million. It's the 9, and he's a player
goals,
we season.
6 assists.
Bro,
9
so
goals and 6 assists.
let's calm down a little.
No. I want context. 9 goals, 6 assists. Out of those 9 goals, 3 have been game winners. Please put some respect on it.
Three have been giving.
All right. Okay, so before we leave this title talk, the Adams, Chelsea has a C in this title race, right?
What say did they have, bro?
Chelsea
What
has a
say did
C.
they have?
Chelsea had a
He's
say
trying
in
to
the
Liverpool
race.
fans
Of course. Of course. You're not confident in your team.
What did Uzo say? Go and off your gen. Don't waste. Don't
Don't waste fuel.
man, just off your gen, Pius, because bro, for what I saw today against Sheffield, I think you guys don't actually understand how pathetic that performance was.
But this was the same Chelsea team that beat United some days earlier.
Bro, the thing is,
This is the same Chelsea team that went to the Etihad and held Man City to a draw.
I was telling you guys in the group chat, I'm like, Chelsea will come back against Sheffield and mess it up. We know. See, the thing as Chelsea, what I've learned is don't get too high, don't get too low, right? But also enjoy the little wins. Why I celebrated our win a lot was because it was Manchester United. Bro,
Of course,
we've not
it was a
beaten
big
them
win.
since 2017. So, and the way we won that game was very sweet. So I had to celebrate that one.
Yeah,
But it was
that guy,
expected. It was expected. Most Chelsea fans that I know were saying, bro, I won't be surprised if Chelsea drop points against Sheffield. Most of them. So it wasn't like this is
Okay.
the Chelsea that we know
All right.
or
Okay.
we've
So
come
Adam,
to know.
before we come to Chelsea, right? I know we're going to come to Chelsea and talk about Chelsea and what expectations they have left for the remainder of the season, right? Let's quickly touch on let's quickly preview two key Champions League games coming up this midweek, right? Involving English teams. Bayern Munich versus Arsenal, Real Madrid versus Manchester City. Before Chuks comes in, Adams, let me come to you first, right? What are your expectations for that game, right? So some context: Bayern Munich are not doing poorly. They're not doing very well right now in
Mm-hmm.
Bundesliga. I think they are like maybe 16 or 15 points behind Bayer Leverkusen. They lost this weekend to I've not seen that team. Like, with all respect to the Bundesliga, I don't even know that team. Heidelem or something. From 2 goals down, 2 goals up, they lost the game 3-2. So it's just looking like Bayern Munich are in some sort of disarray. Thomas Tuchel, their manager, Harry Kane, you know. But fair enough, Harry Kane is still banging in the goals. And looking at this fixture coming up, I was seeing somewhere that Harry Kane has faced Arsenal 14 times, I think. He has won 7 and lost 7, I think. And then he has scored 14 goals against them or so. So Bayern will be looking at him to say, okay, if we can sneak something at the Emirates, Harry Kane will someone that will be looking out for. But let me get your expectations on the game. What do you think will happen?
I think it will be a very close game. Because this is the only glimmer of hope that Bayern Munich has. But at the same time, they are not a good side. They've not shown quality throughout this season. And when I watch Arsenal play, I was watching Arsenal against Brighton, and I didn't feel like the game they were going to lose or they were going to draw at any point in the game. It was so comfortable. The other teams don't get a sniff against us. Even Manchester City, we were expecting that, okay, maybe something could happen. Somebody can do something. But at the same time, it looks so comfortable for us now defending, right? Defending. And that's very, very important for me in a Champions League game. You have to get it right defensively. And when I look at the way Arsenal play, I think the Champions League kind of suits them, right? With the style that they have now that they are more robust defensively, I think it suits them in a two-legged game. It really suits them, so they can afford to go all out in one game and the other game be a little bit cautious. I'm looking at that game against Bayern at the Emirates. I think that will be the most interesting one because both teams will have a go,
Yeah.
at Emirates. I expect Arsenal to be a little bit more cautious. Depending on what the scoreline is in the first leg, but I expect them to be a little bit more
I,
cautious.
no, I think the first leg is at the Emirates on Tuesday.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
leg is at the Emirates. I expect
Yeah.
both teams to go for it at the Emirates. I think Bayern will come thinking that, let's try to get a goal or two here and maybe take a lead or a draw back to, because they know if they try to sit deep, Arsenal is going to destroy them. So I expect that they will go at it against them at the Emirates. Then they'll be, again, maybe want Arsenal to take the game to them at the Allianz Arena, which won't happen because the Arsenal that we've seen against Man City, we kind of know what's going to happen at the second leg. So yeah, I'm saying all this to say I think Arsenal has a really decent chance. The only thing that we all say can stop them is the heritage, experience, know-how. How did somebody describe it? Like, when the stakes are really high, you sort
I think that's where majority of fans and pundits and analysts are at right now. In terms of, you're looking at the form guide of the two teams, and it's just looking like Arsenal will overcome over 2 legs. We don't know what will happen
how.
in either legs. Yeah, how they'll do it, but it just looks like they are going to
But the
overcome.
Emirates game will be a cracker, though. I think the game
Yeah,
at
I
the
think it's
Emirates.
going to be a cracker since it's going to be Arsenal will be at home. Their fans will be
Yeah,
expecting them to
yeah.
attack a very weak, not like a very weak, but like a Bayern team that is not,
Weekend, yeah.
doing in top
And
form.
Muller keeps doing all this. Like, bro, you're doing too much. Your team is not
Eh,
even that good. Like,
that good.
calm down. Calm
No, it's
down.
just
Play the
Muller is coming
game.
from the point of view of heritage. That heritage.
Bro, just play first. And then after you
Yeah.
can start doing all these antics that you're doing.
Okay, Chuks, let me ask you. So for as an Arsenal fan, for you, Arteta, is there anything that Arteta needs to do differently from what he has been doing now, heading into that game? Is there any should there be any personnel changes, any formation change, or just same
Um,
of the same?
the only thing I will say for the first leg, I would like to see Rice and Pate. That's
Hmm.
about it. No,
So
I mean he
no
might probably
judging.
start Zinchenko, but I'd like to see Rice, Pate, no Zinchenko, Kivio on left back, then the same front of Martinelli, Havertz, and Saka. That's
You don't want
Yeah, but I like the idea of him off the bench. Like if because the thing is we don't know how Bayern's going to set up, but I just want Martinelli to start early because those kind of games, if you can, I don't think we're going to run away with it. All jokes aside, it's still Champions League.
yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
And
occasionally you might see somebody like when PSG put their throats, their legs on Barcelona's try. I think it was 4-0 in like the space of how many minutes. Those games do happen, but I don't think it will be that easy. But at least give us the lineup that is solid defensively and going forward. If you can get 1v1 matchups, that's what I liked against Brighton. The few times Saka had this guy 1v1, what's his name? Estupinian
his opinion, yeah.
one v one. Yeah, he was looking good. Although I don't know if he's really injured or if the whole limping thing is a
bro, he's
gimmick.
not
I don't
injured,
know.
bro. You all know that it
But
wasn't.
you know, if the guy is fit, he has to start. Martinelli got some game time because I know Bayern Munich is not going to double. They hardly from what I was looking up. Maybe they might do it for Arsenal. They might double up, and if they are not used to doubling up, that means somebody is going to be open in that middle area of the pitch, which means
Yeah.
Harvest is going to feast.
Yeah.
So
But I think it's going to be very interesting game to tack. Like,
it
and I
is.
think something
I'm
and
also
something that
happy that I'm here. Like I'm trying to make up my sixth excuse to leave work early so I can go watch this game.
Bro, this is on. You know, this is
So
going. This is going on a public platform.
it's
So
okay. It's fine.
because another thing is Arsenal needs to be wary. Thomas Tuchel is someone that has pedigree in the Champions League. He's not
yeah,
a newcomer. I think he has taken PSG to the finals. He has won
Please,
it with
please, all
Chelsea.
this pedigree. Is it Triple H? Doesn't he have pedigree inside Bundesliga? I beg. One thing I
Oh
can
my
tell you,
goodness.
pedigree
Arsenal
stuff.
is winning.
The only thing that scares me about Bayern Munich is not them. It's not their freaking heritage, their brand. Nothing. It's one man, Harry Kane. That's the only person that I'm scared of. Cause Harry Kane alone can win them this quarterfinal just off of pure hate. The guy can win them this game. I've seen Harry Kane while beating Tottenham 3-0, and he's playing like the game is still 0-0. Like he wants to live with something. That's not somebody. We honestly, there might have to be a proper game plan for that guy. Because every time we've played Tottenham, when he was there, he finds a way to score. Although he hasn't seen this new improved defense that we have, because not only does he have to worry about Saliba and Gabriel, but when Declan Rice drops back, I'm sure they're all gonna swarm him the same way they did Haaland. So I'm excited and scared for that matchup because the guy it's just like back in the days when you faced Drogba. Even the seasons where he scored just 4 league goals, two was against Arsenal because for some odd reason, these guys, whenever they see that cannon, their eyes are big. They start to download skills that they did not have before. They'll go to moves.org.uk to download skills that they didn't have. That's what I'm scared of. I don't care about Bayern's pedigree or anything. I'm scared of Hurricane's pedigree. Because watch, he's gonna get a goal. Let's say the game ends. Let's say we win the game. Hurricane is gonna find a way to score. I'm make it like 3-1 or 2-1 or something. So hopefully the guy decides that he doesn't want to play on Tuesday.
That's definitely not happening. He's going to play. Before we move on to the other game, right? So you're predicting like 4-0 Arsenal, right?
No. The way Adams is smiling, I'm going to go safe. I'm going to go safe.
He's smiling as one that,
It's,
this
it's
is a
smiling
trap.
because
This is a trap.
we're
We're going
for
to come back.
February has been waiting for the Arsenal collapse. every episode he comes on the podcast, he's just patiently waiting. So let me start going safe. I will predict a 2-1 Arsenal win.
Right.
Like in the
Okay.
first leg or overall.
Yeah, first leg,
First
2-1.
leg.
2-1 as Arsenal win.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so let's just quickly brush through the other fixture. Real Madrid versus Man City. I think this fixture has been played very often recently. I think the
Yeah.
last 2 or 3, and then I think Man City has had some sort of like the upper edge. Like, right? Am I right or wrong?
The
I
last
think
time,
they've had,
yeah. I think it was 4-0.
yeah, it was like a demolition job, right?
Yeah.
So, but I know we discussed this fixture some weeks ago, and I remember Uzo saying people seem to underrate Real Madrid right now. There's a talk. There's almost like, oh, Man City are going to repeat what they did to them last time, but that might not actually be the case. Real Madrid, really leading the La Liga. They have this clutch. Real Madrid, when it comes to Champions League, nobody is as
No,
clutch as them, man. They
nobody
can be
is.
playing so badly. I remember there was the game. It's becoming so. Sometimes it becomes very ridiculous, right? I remember the game, and I feel bad. I feel bad for Chelsea fans anytime I see that game. Was it the 5-4 game or something?
Bro,
That
that
game.
game,
I remember watching
man.
that game. And I was like,
Look,
football can be so unfair because I thought Chelsea
that
did
game, bro.
everything right to go
I
I
mean,
through.
but
think we
is
lost
it
that
is
game in the
it
first leg still.
is it as unfair as the Rodrigo 2 goals in like 1 minute
That was
I was
against
still
against
Man
going to come to
City, right?
that. Yeah,
against
against Man City.
that one? Like it will take me like 3 months to heal off
Yeah,
of that. Like, how can a man that just
I
got subbed on, he just got subbed on, and he scored 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes
minutes.
to take the
I
game
remember
to
that game.
time?
I
Like,
remember that game.
Bro,
nah.
those
As in
guys.
as in what you said, Chuks, is just so like I know that game. A City fan called in to like talk sport, and she was in tears because it was almost like she couldn't. It was that was what you call like a real dagger, like a real hammer blow. Because I
Those
felt
are
City
those type of will
and
break
over the
you,
two
man.
legs,
But this
City were the better team. I think City were the
They
better team over
were.
the two
I
legs.
mean, like they
They
were just so
outplayed.
wasteful. They outplayed them. They were just so wasteful. That's heritage and pedigree right there. Like these guys, until the referee blows the whistle, you
They're not
cannot
out.
start
They're
celebrating.
not out, bro.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought we
what the
won
game.
that game, man. I thought
Nah,
we won that
you
game.
cannot start celebrating against those guys.
Yeah, man. I
So
want to
actually, I think
man.
that of course that day I was supporting Madrid, but after watching the game and after digesting everything, I was like, if I was a Chelsea fan coming out of that game, I would be so sad. But
Yeah, it was so
I
sad,
don't know
man.
I don't know what sort of black magic or something that Madrid have done in that Champions League, man. It's just crazy. Even when they won that, there was a period where they won the 3 in a row, the La Decima and some the other ones that followed after. It's just there was the final against Atletico Madrid. They were already dead and gone, and then Ramos from nowhere.
Yeah, I think
It's
that was La
just
Decima. Was it?
yeah,
Yeah, I
that
remember
was last La Decima.
I was in
Yeah,
secondary school. I remember that night. That it was the Atletico scored so early, and the game was very very dry. 95th minute, that Ramos header, man. Then they just killed them in extra time. I think Bale scored,
Yeah, Bale scored. Yeah,
Marcelo scored, then Ronaldo scored, and I took off his shit. I think it was penalty. Yeah, now those guys, that is real heritage, man. Not Robin and Ribery FC. Please, 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 please.
yeah,
don't be disrespecting Bayern like that, man.
yeah.
Hey,
So
man. Tunde Young, don't allow my team to win. Because I've
yeah, I know.
seen all your slander on Pulse TV. I was saying that to Adam, I've been bookmarking everything. I know yeah, I've been
I
bookmarking
need to,
everything.
Arsenal
I need
fans
to,
are waiting for him, man.
I need
Nah,
to say about Tunde is so confident. Like it's as if he has seen it already that Bayern is going to
no,
win.
they have
I
given
was like
him.
Tunde.
Tunde's Babalawo has given him the script. He
I
has
mean,
seen
who
the
has the
script.
scripts?
No,
I
he's
mean,
actually been
people
very,
should be
very
sharing the
disrespectful to
script with
Arsenal.
me. I mean,
No, he's actually been very disrespectful to Arsenal to the point where if Bayern Munich beat us, I might never be able to look him in the eye because there's no way he can disrespect our team that much and we don't turn up. That should be the
as in,
pre-match That should be the pre-match message. The players just show them
I
Tunde's head
I
and
said,
everything he
look at
has
the
said.
clip, bro.
Everything he has said for the past 1 month.
okay, Adam's right. Okay, so before we leave this Champions League game, right? So Adams, what do you see happening? Madrid Man City. For
Man,
me, I think
it's
yeah, I think the first leg, I think Madrid edges that first leg for me as well. But over, who's going to go through, I don't know. But that first leg at the Santiago Bernabeu, I think Madrid edge it for me. And I think the Emirates first leg, I think it's going to be a draw. Bayern Arsenal.
at the
Yeah, the
Allianz
Allianz
Arena,
Arena.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so moving on from the Champions League game, now let's come back home to the Premier League and the Adams. Chelsea. Let's talk Chelsea, right? So we saw Chelsea, midweek, give that remarkable comeback victory against them, Manchester United. It was amazing. I was not a Chelsea fan, but watching the videos on Instagram, the celebration videos, I had goosebumps, man. It was the sort of something that as a fan is something like you always want to enjoy. Those last minute victories at home when you think you are down and out. Stamford Bridge was bouncing. I could see some comments saying, "Oh, could this be the turning point for Chelsea? Could this be something that will, you know, kind of like jumpstart or kickstart Chelsea season?" And then there was the talk of, "Oh, Chelsea can still make even sixth position." Looking at the points gap between them and I think Manchester United were in sixth at the time, or who are still sixth by anyway. So only for Chelsea to come out today and then succumb to a 2-2 draw against Sheffield United. And just like Chuks was saying earlier, I didn't actually see the game, but I was looking at the match stats after the game. I was surprised. Now this is bottom of the table Sheffield United, as in rock bottom of the table Sheffield United, and then they're having more expected goals than Chelsea, more attempts. It's kind of, as a Chelsea fan, of course, it's disappointing. So the debate now that I'm going to bring to you, Adams, is there's a punch in, there's a punch out debate. So there are some fans I've seen and say, "Oh, it's not Poch is not to blame. The players need to take some sort of responsibility for their performances." But I've seen the also other side of the argument that say, "Oh, Poch's structure is not right, the substitutions are not right." So first of all, let me ask you, right? Which camp are you in? The Poch in camp or the Poch out camp?
Um, I won't say like sack him right now because like who is a reasonable replacement, right? Plus, my stance has always been I'm not confident in the abilities of the owners to make the best decision for this club, right? So they've gone like 0-3 in their last appointment. So how am I sure the next person will automatically be the right one, right? But again, you have to keep doing it till it's right. That's what people say. Like keep trying, till it's right. But to me, I say based on we can talk about every other thing that's happened. We can talk about the signings. We all agree and we can meet in the middle and we know that the owners have the larger portion of blame. Like that's not even up for
I agree.
debate. Yeah, the type of players that we signed, the model that we did, everything. Yes, we can go into that debate, we can go into that discussion and we'll see. But if we're just leaving it based off of footballing reasons, like based off of your job as a coach, right? And I don't think Poch has done enough. And I always say you learn most about your team against teams like this, teams like Sheffield, teams like Burnley, teams like Luton, Nottingham
Team,
Forest. That's
yeah.
when you know what your team is about, right? That's when you understand the characteristics of your team, the character of your team, all right? Especially when you're in a rebuilding phase. I don't mean, top teams like Arsenal, Liverpool, but when you're in a rebuilding phase, you will learn a lot about your team when they play teams that they are supposed to beat. How do they approach the game? And that's a feature with Poch. Like we don't see an identity, right? We don't understand how he's trying to play, and there's nothing for us to support. There's nothing for us to say, okay, this guy since he's been here has improved dramatically. People want to talk about Palmer. Palmer has been great, but I will not attribute that to just Pochettino, right? And against a team like Sheffield United, bro, we got those goals against the run of play. We got one of the goals was a corner kick, and the other one, good goal by Noni. But before we scored that goal, we were getting peppered by Sheffield.
Wow.
Yes, like they were playing. Bro, I was like, is this Sheffield the same Sheffield United? They know that they are getting relegated. And that's the thing, is that whenever any team plays Chelsea, they automatically believe that they can beat us because we are so easy to play against. It's so easy to play against us. It's ridiculous. And the players definitely in every situation, before they sacked Lampard during before 2021 season, some of the players were to be blamed. Werner was missing open chances, was missing one-on-ones for fun. Havertz was missing chances too. Some of the players were not doing their jobs. Kepa or Mendy, I think it was before Mendy was Kepa wasn't making saves. Yes, there will be players that you can point to and say this guy is not doing well, do better. But ultimately, especially if it's every single game, there's a new culprit. So one game is Raheem Sterling, everybody saying, Raheem Sterling, you should have passed. You are the reason why we didn't win this game. The next game is Enzo. The other game is Caicedo. The other game is Gusto. Every single time, all the players look like they are not good enough. I'm sorry. Out of 25 or however many they are, I think Chelsea has enough to beat a 10-man Burnley at home. And this is not a Burnley that is defensive. This is a Burnley, we know how poor they are defensively. I saw a start against for Sheffield. They said this is the first time a team hasn't, had 10 shots at goal against them. That's how porous they are. Like, that's how easy it is for them, for any team to face them. But automatically, they know that when they face Chelsea, it's very easy for them. And that's the coach. Like, it's one thing for you to be hard to beat, right? And then maybe a mistake for somebody. Like, you can see that, okay, this team, we're trying, but the personnel is not there. But we are not trying. We are not trying. It doesn't look like a group. It doesn't look like a unit. It has never looked like that. And until when? How much time do you want to give Pochettino? How much time? When is enough enough? When we say, okay, now we'll be holding you responsible. It's no longer the players. You should be responsible. Because for me, right from when Pochettino came, there were times where players were missing chances. I'm like, I see it. Some of those players they are young, they are missing those chances. Maybe it's them, right? Maybe it's them, right? But now that's not even happening anymore. Right? That's not even happening anymore. We can't take control of the game. A midfield that has Caicedo and Enzo can't take control of the game. And then we can now go back to the subs. Look at the subs that he was making. I'm not a football coach, but I know that you don't, especially against a team like Sheffield, Burnley, Sheffield especially, you don't make subs when you are defending a set piece, right? Because it will kind of disorganize what's going on. Right? Everybody knows their man. After the set piece, you can make the sub. But don't make the sub right before the set piece, right? Because that can cause some confusion. You are just coming in from the bench and immediately you have to pick up a man. Let the people that were doing it before handle it. This guy took off Kukureya and forgot the other person he took off. He took off Kukureya and somebody else and brought in Badiashile and Caicedo. Oh, Jackson and Caicedo. Kukureya has been not very good, but he has been okay organizing the defense, especially for set piece. He knows his man. He knows the job that he has to do, and he had been doing it well all game. I immediately brought on Badiashile. Badiashile coming in, and you guys have seen Badiashile these couple games, how terrible he has been. Of course, a 6'5" or whatever, how tall he is, got beaten in the air by who? Mark Bonney, or I can't. I don't even know how tall Mark Bonney is, or what's that dude's name? I can't remember his name, bro.
Yeah, it's only Mark Bonney. Yeah.
From the first action, that was the first action. Immediately he came in. That was the first action. Again, immediately it was 2-1, 70-something minutes. He took off Palmer and brought in Chukwuemeka. I'm looking at those subs. I'm like, bro, Palmer is the only reason why we're able to do anything. this is now the time for us to consolidate and get another goal. But you are bringing in Chukwuemeka for what at that time of the game? Look, Pochettino definitely needs to take responsibility for this. He needs to.
Okay.
This is not. We're not going away to Wolves. We're not going away to Bournemouth. This is
Castle or
Sheffield.
something.
This
Yeah.
is Sheffield.
So, yeah. So I get your point of view. I know Chuks has a slightly different view on Chelsea. So Chuks, but because of time, Chuks, just quickly, right? So what's your different your opposing view on Chelsea?
Yeah.
And then Adams. Then sorry, Chuks, before you come in, then immediately after that, Adams, I want to ask you, right? Pochettino, right? FA Cup. Okay, Chuks, answer the question first. Let me not confuse it.
All right, so let me clear my throat first. As I always say, I'm here to give perspective, because I want you to think of this thing the way I'm going to lay it out. As I've told you on the WhatsApp chat and even on Twitter too, the squad itself is not good. Like the players you have are not good, and you have to understand that and accept it first.
That's not
That way
true.
you can
That's
tell
not
people-
true. That's
It
not
is
true.
like
That's not
you
true.
sent
You can't say the squad is not. Do you want to take look at the starting 11 against Sheffield? Let's even isolate that game, bro. We had Petrovic, we had Chaloba, who has had years in this league, has played Champions League football, played League One football, played Championship football. Hold on, and then we had Cucurella that has played for Getafe from La Masia Cucurella.
but okay, but
hold on. Then we have he was a player that Manchester City wanted to buy. Pep Guardiola wanted to buy. He's not good enough for Sheffield United. And
yes,
then okay, let's say we had Disasi. Disasi made the World Cup squad for France. Okay, he's not good. That back four is not good enough. Petrovic, I get it. Okay, Petrovic, I can give you that one. I can give you that one. Then why did he even play? Yeah.
Okay, let me just ask. I think you've made your point. You made that point, right?
My point. I've never made the point.
Okay, no, I'm coming to Chuks. I think I'm coming to your
You
point,
people
right?
can't gaslight us.
Wait.
Gaslight us into thinking that this team is not good enough to beat Sheffield, man.
Okay, so you guys have said, Chuks has said the team is not good. Adams has said the team is good enough. So my question to you is, good enough or not good enough for what? Like, where exactly is this team supposed to be?
Exactly. See, look, people think that I'm one of these delusional Chelsea fans that think we should be in Champions League or we should be challenging for the title. No. I tempered my expectations. Obviously, I was unrealistic after the preseason, but immediately we came into the season, I understood what we were in for. I was like, okay, let's see. Let's try to understand, some of the players. Let me know who the starting level is. Let me know the guys that will say, you know what, these guys don't belong to our level because we are playing so well. Like, okay, we are playing this brand of football. This person doesn't fit into it. Do you get what I'm saying? And then maybe we lose some games, I will draw some games. But now, I don't know the type of football we're playing, and I don't know who belongs or not. I don't know. I don't know. I know how to articulate this. Like, I'm going into next season not knowing anything. Like, I wanted to discover more about my team and say, okay, I can trust. The only person I know I can trust now is Palmer. Okay, I can trust Palmer. I can trust my back four is Badiashile and Disasi. But now we don't know what that is. We don't know who are back to play.
Because of time.
We don't know who the left winger should be. We don't know. There's so many things we don't understand about this team because we don't have a defined. Even if Poch is going to say, okay, this is how I'm going to play, and I'm going to die by playing this way. I'm going to play tiki-taka, or I'm going to play whatever formation or whatever. Bro, today it felt like an hybrid of three at the back because the Sassy was kind of that makeshift third center back. Noni was the hybrid winger and right back. What are we doing? We don't even know what we're doing. That was not what we played against Manchester United. And anybody that had United. And we had to. Sorry.
I'm sorry,
Go
Adams.
ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because of time, right? So, my final question to you, Adams, before I allow Chuks to finish his point, and then we close Chelsea for
You see
today.
what's asking about Chelsea again? Hey, we'll be here all night.
No, it's just a one answer question, right? So, Adams, right now, I think Chelsea can still finish, like Chelsea is still within touching distance of like sixth position, right? It's not something that is far-fetched or something that is beyond Chelsea's reach. So, if, for instance, now somehow, Poch finishes the season, Chelsea finishes sixth, and then they win the FA Cup, would that be a successful season for you?
Of
Just one
course.
answer.
Of course. Absolutely.
Yes. Then
Absolutely.
Poch can sign that. We can bring in that audio, bring the paper. Poch sign his contract extension now,
No.
right?
I don't know about signing. See, my thing.
Even if he achieves that,
No,
you will
no, no,
not
no,
give
no.
him the contract.
I don't
Yeah.
hate Poch. I've said that if Poch turns it around tomorrow, see, I want Poch to be successful.
So if he turns it
I
around
want
and gives
value.
you that, so if he turns it around and gives you that, will he sign that? Will you be happy with this extension?
I don't know about extension, but we can take our
This guy,
analysis.
even if you don't want him, okay.
No. There's a reason why we had it, but
Okay. I think
yeah.
you've made up your mind about Poch. Fair enough. Chuks, quickly, 2 minutes, your final point on Chelsea
See,
before we close the show.
Adams is running away from the reason why his team is not good. And to be honest, I don't blame him. This is new territory for him. Pius, you can agree with me. When you don't have good players, you will blame the manager, you blame everybody. There's a reason why you don't know who is your best center back pairing or who is better in what position, because the guys there are not good. Like you look at someone like Kopama and your midfield is not good because you've gone to overpay for system players. And that's just the honest truth.
Come
Kukurela will look good in another team because he's
on,
a system player. Like
come
you
on,
have so many average
come on, man.
players that you
That's
spend so
what you
much
say.
on.
That's what you say when we are playing teams like Spurs and we're losing.
But
Right?
I'm saying like
That's what you say when we play teams like, let's say,
Adams,
Aston
wait now,
Villa.
let me land.
Not Sheffield, man. Not
Let me land.
Sheffield. Not
Adams,
Sheffield. No, not
Adams,
Sheffield.
me and Pius have watched our teams do the same. I've watched Arsenal win at Old Trafford.
And what changed it for
No,
you
no,
guys?
I've watched Arsenal
What
win
changed
at.
it for you guys? Were you guys still sticking with Unai Emery saying,
No,
no,
this
he's
was
him.
under. This was
He's
under.
the guy. He's our players. He's our
But I'm
players.
saying this was
Yeah.
under. This was under Arteta. We won at Old Trafford, and we go to lose 5 straight games because the players don't change. Like top 6 games, you are going to play to the level of your opponent sometimes, or maybe you don't do that. But if your team is not good, if you are going into games with players that are not at the level of competing, because to compete for top 4, you need the players. We saw it with Tottenham.
Still compete for top 4.
I'm saying that's the expectation. Right now, it looks like you can finish 6th. Just because of how the fixtures have gone. Let's say you finish 6th at the end of the season. You remember the time you spent 11th and 12th now. That means your team is good enough for that particular position. Which the point I'm trying to make is when you have players that are subpar, you can blame everybody, you can change managers, but it all comes from the owners knowing how to recruit. You can't keep spending money. It's just like the whole midfield thing. If your midfielders are good, midfield is one position to know if you have a good midfield. It's not really a thing of the defense attack. If your midfielders are good, they are good.
Bro,
I remember
I'm
when
not
we
going
used
to
to try
get
and
frustrated
play out the
with
back
that.
with Ceballos
Our
and
midfield
Xhaka.
is not good enough, bro. You're
It's not.
saying
It's not.
I disagree with that, man. I
I
disagree
saw.
with
Okay,
that.
guys.
So
I saw
you're saying
Guys.
no matter who the coach is, this team can't beat Sheffield. Is that your point? That no
I
matter
mean, if you replay this game 10 times, there's a possibility you might win it. But I'm saying your team is not good enough to be consistent.
Okay.
I hear that. Absolutely. Like
Adam, that is what you have to understand. In a rebuild, Pius, please tell him, is anything assured when your team is not at the top 4 level?
No, nothing is assured.
What is assured? It's just like Brentford fans saying, why can't they beat Sheffield? Because you are
Brentford have. I mean,
Adams, forget all this. Adams, forget all this
winner.
La Masia product. I beg. La Masia need to produce stuff
Do
standard. I beg.
they have a World Cup winner?
Okay, Adams, guys. I think We have to.
Bro.
No, but wait,
guys,
but Adam,
This is a
if you're
discussion
if,
that
Wait, so
if you're big,
if you work at Chelsea and you're the director of whatever, you're blaming the players. You're not holding the coach responsible.
I'm blaming the players and the people that signed off on signing those players. Because
Okay, now how do you fix? How do you pass it off?
to be honest,
You sell all of them off.
the fix is so easy. The fix is so easy if you don't care about the fans. You have to let the players you have develop, and you see who you are going to stick with. As I said with you guys
and you've seen
in the
enough.
WhatsApp chat,
Pochettino is that guy to let them develop.
whether it's Pochettino or it's not Pochettino, you need somebody
You're
that's
running away from the question. You're hiding from the question. Is Pochettino the guy?
You can go and change managers all you want. If you don't have the players, we've seen it multiple times. The season where Liverpool had key injuries, you saw how hard it was to get top 4. It's not easy. Like you need certain players in certain positions in every phase of your team, from attack, midfield to is always why you always see with some teams, if one player gets hurt, their season is over. That's how important the footballers are. It's not, Pep says it all the time. It's not about system or system tactics is all good and all, but if you don't have the players, the personnel to actually carry out what you want to do, now you're seeing that you have.
What does Pochettino want to do? Like we know what is the system that what are the players that fit into Pochettino's system?
If you like, go and carry Klopp when he's done with Liverpool and give him Caicedo and Enzo from
Flop with this team will be.
That's what everybody will say. Give him Buddy Hawk Shield and Disasi. You guys are hyping up this Disasi guy.
He's having dance. What's his name?
All right,
guys.
What's
the name of that guy? Jaden Dance. Jaden Dance is running. He's running rings.
We've seen
Elliot making them look like world-class players, and you're saying that.
I'm saying Van Dijk is still playing. Isn't Van Dijk still playing? If you remove Van Dijk and leave Kwanzaa and Matip in that middle, wallahi, there is no game that they're going to win.
Bro,
they have Alexander Arnold. It's not like
Arnold. Where? How many games has he played?
He has played more than half of this season. They have Salah. They have
Pius, you let this guy get away with a lot of.
Pius knows the truth. It's you that's living in denial.
Yeah,
I think so, guys.
Our team is not good enough. But
Pius, please, you have to say something. Even if it's what
Pochettino.
I'm moderating. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Adams wants to take the way out.
Let's take the easy way
out. Where you've had Lampard, Graham Potter, Lampard again. Even the bald guy that came in, and now Pochettino. And you really think
right, guys, let's end this. I think this is a discussion we'll bring again, maybe sometime next week. Hopefully, I wanted to say hopefully. I would have said Chelsea would have won their next game. Okay, but for me, closing on this, like two things can be right? Two things can be correct at the same time, right? You guys have made valid points, right? So I like the point Chuks made about system and all that, but the players are not good enough. They cannot give more than what they don't have. Like they can't give what they don't have. You get. And then Adam's point that Poch, what system is Poch playing? Like you're going into a game, you're going into a club game, and you're knowing that today we're pressing from the front. This is club style of play. Yeah. So you're asking yourself,
and you can tell, you'll be able to tell that Sako is not that guy, can't push up, he's not that guy.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
So,
you can tell that Lallana, he can press, so maybe, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
But no, we can't tell. We don't know what we can say. This is the type of person we need. We need somebody that will do this. We need one day
fitting into the system that the coach is trying to implement.
One day he's trying to play Enzo in deep.
So two things can be true.
Again, it's possible profiling the players too.
So today, it's possible that Poch, it's possible that Poch might not be good enough, and then the players are also subpar.
You push guy and get that manager. We'll still come back to this moment, and the thing that will change is if your recruitment gets better. Because if you're going to sign, that's always the problem with signing young players. You're signing potential. And now you don't want to wait and develop those players.
One thing, I think another thing is I feel like our recruitment hasn't been as bad as the thing that gave us bad PR was the Caicedo signing and the Lavia
Enzo
signing.
too. The Enzo signing was ridiculous.
Our our recruitment hasn't been as bad as people have been saying it is.
It's
We
been
got
bad.
We got Gusto for like what, and now he's looking like diamond in the rough for us. Palmer, bro. Even Chukwuemeka that you guys are saying, bro, that guy is a decent player, but he has had injuries.
These are all squad players, man. Chukwuemeka doesn't start for half of every team in the
No,
top.
no, I'm
Even
not.
Gusto.
Why did you pick? I said
But I'm
I
saying
said Gusto again. I said
Chukwuemeka,
Palmer.
Gusto.
Why did you?
Chukwuemeka. The only player is Palmer. Chukwuemeka, Gusto, Mudrik, Badi Hopsil, Disasi, Madueke. All your Biafra FC. None of them are starting for even the top 10 teams. And these are guys that are starting on your own team.
I
You have
disagree,
to
bro.
understand
Modric
that
isn't starting
Guys,
in a top 10 team.
guys,
Bro, you
Modric is
guys
not
like
starting.
guys.
Modric doesn't
Modric
even
isn't
start for your
starting.
own team. He doesn't even start
Modric
for your
isn't
own team.
starting.
But
Says
he
the
doesn't
guy
even
that
start for
wanted
your
to
own
that
team.
wanted to that their fans were crying over the tier that they
Yeah,
couldn't
bro,
get one.
Modric
Modric
would
isn't
have cooked
starting.
for us. Modric would have cooked for us because we have a
Bro,
safe home.
you guys
You
lie
had a
all the
Russian
time,
owner.
man.
You
You
had a
guys
Russian owner
always
and
lie.
signed Modric.
You guys
The
always
Modric
lie.
team.
You guys,
All right,
bro.
guys.
The fact
Guys,
still that
at
word.
this month. Okay, for you guys. All right, Adams. Thank you so much for your views on Chelsea. I know as a Chelsea fan, I know you just needed to point out. In fact, the show has almost turned to the Chelsea FC show, the post reaction show. Right. We've come to the final part of the show. Our time is really fast spent. So yeah, right. So I've set up some few questions. So it's the quiz section of the show. So it's head to head, Chuks versus the Adams. I
Bro,
have
I'm not even in mood
uh,
for any quiz right now, man.
just something to lighten your mood. You could use this one, to edge over Chuks. Just bragging rights for you. You defeated him in the quiz
Ah,
section.
Man,
Adam, I can't wait for it to come to
Burnley,
the Emirates.
Burnley
Watch
and
ball at the Emirates. I cannot
Sheffield,
wait.
man.
The winner of this quiz, might end up winning the other person, in that particular fixture. You can never tell.
Yeah, maybe we can.
Maybe, maybe
Man, look,
it might be an omen.
I said, Poch, do this one for me against Man United, and he did it. And
So
maybe,
do it for us against Arsenal. Chooks, Abby Adams,
and
do
we
it
know
for
that
us against Arsenal.
the only thing we have this season is just banter,
Spoil,
bragging rights against some
exactly.
of our.
Spoil somebody's,
Oh man,
dreams. But just imagine Chelsea stopping Arsenal from winning the league. It's going to be almost like
it'll be epic, man. It'll be epic.
it'll be
What is that? Spotify, play Imagine That by Star Plus. Play
okay,
Imagine
guys.
That.
Quickly. Right. Okay. So I have 1 to 5. Let me start with Adams, the Chelsea guy. Adams, 1 to 5. Just choose one number. Wow. Number one. Wow. This might be a wrong number for you. It's an Arsenal question. Chuks should have been that good. So, what's the number of clean sheets Arsenal have in the Premier League right now?
Bro, I don't even care about all of that, man.
He doesn't even keep clean sheets himself. How do you expect him to do?
I don't care about all of that, man. I
Sorry,
don't
man.
care, bro. Don't be asking me all these Arsenal, bro.
No,
I don't
you
care
pick the
about all of
question. So sorry. So Chuks, over to you. What's it? Don't check it. Don't check it online.
I'm
I'm
not
seeing.
Adam, when last did you keep it?
Wow.
I think we have 14 clean sheets.
Yeah, 14 clean sheets. That's correct.
Bro, not even clean sheets. Our last 5 games,
Please
I think we
pick
considered.
number. We don't want to hear your last.
No, Chuks, pick number is your turn. Chuks, your turn
Ovi,
to pick number. Yeah.
I'll pick 3.
Number 3. Oh my goodness. Number 3. Okay.
Say pick number. I don't
Okay.
want
So
to get.
can you give me the This is a tough. Okay, this seems like an easy one. The number, the 2 coaches with the highest number of appearances in the Champions League history ever.
Ever?
Yes, the top 2 appearance makers for coaches in the Champions League.
For coaches,
10 seconds.
Mourinho
9,
and
8.
Ancelotti.
I'm going to give you half points. So it's not Mourinho, it's Ancelotti and Sir Alex Ferguson.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so
But
I'm just going. So that's 1.5 for you. That's
okay.
1.5 for you. So fair enough. Fair enough. Adams, we are pick.
Number 5.
Number 5. This might be easy for the Adams. Just give me. So we're in the quarterfinals of the European competition, right? Give me the 8 teams that are left in the Europa League.
What, bro? I don't be
You
watching.
asked
I don't be
Conference
watching
League.
that.
That's what it's doing. I've asked you Conference League.
Wow.
Liverpool,
Liverpool.
Leverkusen playing.
10 seconds left. 9,
Ah,
8, 7,
bro, I
6,
can't remember, man.
5, 4. Right, fair enough. You got 4 out of the 8. So the teams are Liverpool, West Ham, Bayern Leverkusen, AC Milan,
AC
Roma,
Milan. Yeah.
Atalanta, Marseille, and Benfica. Okay, so I'll give you half points for that. Adams half, Chuks 1.5. Chuks, pick a number. I think we just have one left.
4.
Huh?
We'll go with 4.
Okay, we have 2 there. I think. Okay, 4. Number 4. Um, can you give me Uh, okay, can you give me the teams, 2 teams, the team with the highest number of goals so far in the Champions League, and the team with the least considered amount of goals in the Champions League?
This season,
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Man City and Arsenal.
And correct, confirm. Man City have scored 24 goals. Arsenal has conceded only 4 goals
As
in the
well as you
Champions
watch Champions League. Eh?
League. All right, I think that's
I
it.
don't want to hear that word from your mouth. You
Hey.
win one, I beg, please. Let's still be respecting our elders.
So I think Chooks has won this particular installment of the quiz segment. Congratulations to
Hey,
Chooks.
please.
So
At
I'm
the
making a
Emirates,
cover. Huh?
at the Emirates, I want to see Badia Shield, all the La Masia products, innit? I want to see
Bro,
the La
you,
Masia products.
Adams
you guys are having.
Lavasia products.
Wait, can't remember
World Cup winner.
how we were
World Cup
bantering
winner.
Sheffield, bro.
All
This
right,
team,
guys.
Sheffield
All right,
United
guys.
team.
All right, guys. This is where we bring the curtain down on the end of the show. It's been a very interesting show. Thanks to Jukes, as usual, for coming on, taking out your time from your busy schedule to join us. Really appreciate. The Adams, as usual, thank you. So guys, please don't forget, do the needful, like and subscribe our videos, or, please drop us a comment. Chelsea fans, drop us a comment. What do you think? Should we give Poch an extension if he delivers 6th position? That's a Europa League and then the FA Cup. Come on, I think that's a reasonable
That's not even going
target
to
for
happen. So, like,
Poch.
don't even waste your time dreaming about things
Wow.
like that.
So you're wishing bad so that at least Poch will not sign. Wow.
That's not happening.
This is an agenda against Poch. Wow. This is
That's
an
not
agenda
happening.
against Poch.
Yeah, you think
Chelsea
he's
fans.
going to beat Man City at Wembley? That's not
Chelsea
going to happen.
fans. But yeah, he's undefeated against Man City, right? 2 games this season, and he has not lost to Man City.
Okay, we'll be here now.
So Chelsea fans around the world, what do you think? Please, his name is the Adams. Please tag him. Tell him your mind. Tell him that he's not a real Chelsea fan. Wishing that Chelsea does not achieve this so that they'll sack the coach. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching it. It's been an interesting episode. Hope you join us again and watch our videos. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good week, guys. Take care.